All right, everybody. Today I've got Havald. Wait, is it Havald or is it Havald? I've heard both.
Uh, Both fine. Doesn't really change a thing.
Okay. I am with Havald, who is currently in XD, and he's been around in the comp scene for a pretty long time, so I thought it'd be a good interview to go ahead and get him. What loadout and class do you want me to play?
Play whatever you like, as I said before. I don't really mind.
All right, I'll try to
Can
be a little interesting. I'll run a grease gun the whole game.
Sure, I can. Can you see?
All right, so with Muck Snappers, kind of like missed out on a few questions, so I kind of came a bit more prepared this time.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you doing before Hell Let Loose? Like, were you in a competitive scene at all, and like, what games were you playing?
I play competitive science, Mountain Blade Warband, to be honest. Like, everybody knows Mountain Blade, Bannerlords. Warband was before I played, like, competitive in the mod scene for Napoleonic Wars. It was like, yeah, as the name says, Napoleonic Wars, basically. And I played Amateur League, like, CSGO a few years ago, but as people which know me a little bit from Had It Loose know by now, my aim is pretty shit these days, so it's not an option anymore. So yeah, so I have a little bit of experience in this whole competitive scene thing.
Right. How much CS:GO did you play? Did you play? You put a lot of hours into that game?
In CS:GO,
Yeah.
I have in two accounts, I think over 3,000 hours.
Oh damn.
Mm.
And
But
then,
I'm
oh wait, what? Go ahead. Sorry.
but I'm not really good nowadays, so I'm not playing it anymore. Picked it up a few times because people ask me, but it's always a shit show.
Right. I tried playing it a little bit, but I'm not really that good at it because I came from console. So the whole idea of like not aiming down sights and being able to shoot and move is very foreign to me.
Well, never played console, so I can't say anything about it.
Yeah, I used to be
See
pretty good on
gamers
the
ever.
CS.
Oh, Rainbow, you mean here? Played for two?
Yeah, Rainbow and other games, but how did you end up finding out about Hella Lose?
Um, I think that's a weird story. I played Minecraft a lot. Like, really, I think that's the most played game I played ever. In building projects and stuff, and I played with some friend, and he was like, "Hey, there's this new game, Had It Loose. I'm playing it, and some with some Germans sometimes. Hey, do you want to try it out?" And I bought it and played with him. And we ended on this like weird server from a German clan, and later he joined, and then I joined too, and that was Wronghead and Fourth, and out of Wronghead and Four, Pi became Core with some people from Offiziers Casino later. So it was more like a random thing, to be honest.
Right. So how fast did core become a thing after you started playing?
I started like a lot of people in the company, I think, like when Corona came, because the home office, home studies, burning times with it, in I think April of 2021 or even 2022. I'm not sure anymore. Like I would have to look in my like logs from when I got my first like Steam thingy-dingalings for that loose. But it took some time, right? I think like 4 months or something. Yeah, sometime that's not much yet, to be honest. And then there was like these talks with the people from Pi, which wanted like to build a big comp team together with us because both teams were smaller ones but good, and they had played some tournaments before with SCDB in a co-op, and they didn't like that whole co-op thing because as everybody who played ever in a co-op in any game or had it loose knows, that's not working out really. So that's how it started. And at these times, I was still like only playing artillery and sometimes in a normal squad because that was my purpose in the clan I was in. And then one random day, I got asked to play commander.
Oh,
So work happened really fast, I think, after I joined.
right.
So yeah. But
Who who
hmm?
was the leader of core? Because this was all before my time. I came in August of
Mm,
2022, so
so you have to see it like that. Like 104th was made by one guy, and he left one day, and the clan was almost dying. Then Lakgumi and Nice and some other people picked it up. They are both now in like the Greyhounds. And Lucky was basically like building an auger, like a group of admins, but it was not democratic. It was like he decided who was in it, and one day he like asked me to join it because I was active and quite involved sometimes. And then the people of Pi joined. A few of them, like Anthrox and Squida, joined this auger too. So they would be would have been representative in the clan. So Lucky was mostly doing admin stuff and server stuff. I was like basically a lot of like in human resources and tournament talks with other like clan leads and stuff. So there wasn't really a lead. This one was more like a council where we talked stuff through and planned stuff out.
Right.
Mm. So
And
basically no
you
leaders.
and you started off as Artie, you said? That was usually what you played?
I started in my first match against 82nd AD when we were still 104th, and I was so bad in the meat grind squad that they put me into RT because we were not much people, you know. So and
Right.
I could like hit some targets then. So yeah, that's how when I became RT. And one random day when I joined the Discord channel, they said, "Hey, you will play Commander next game," and I was like, "Okay." And that's how the whole thing started. I did it good once, I did it good twice, and yeah, stayed in the position.
Was seasonal a thing back then? I'm guessing it was, right? Like during that
It
time when you
was,
first started?
yeah, it was. Season was the big like thing. Everybody wanted to participate. Like, basically, if you win season, it would be the best team. I think it was the third like installment when we really went active with core. So yeah, season was a thing. Season was a V thing basically.
Right. How long did it take for Core to be a seasonal finalist level team?
First run, we immediately
First
went to
run.
like yeah we. And this time was like basically it was a summer cup happening. There was a German league happening. There was like the first HPL happening, which is nowadays HCA. There was a scene. We played all these tournaments. Basically, in core we were like start like with like 60 to 70 active people, and in the highest time we were like 110 active people. So we played because of Corona. We played Friday matches, we played Saturday matches, we played Sunday matches, we played all tournaments at the same time.
Right.
So we basically we went through all of this. We won all of this. Basically, went to the seasonal final, and we were like famous for 5-0ing all our enemies in this time. We were just like a tsunami coming in, getting through.
And were you already commanding by that time for Core?
Yeah, this was my time. Like, I basically started like there was like this guy from Pi which was really good at commanding too. It was also a really good shooter, pure. But they saw him wasted as commander, so I got the main role and prepared a lot of stuff because of Corona. I had this time and everything, so we were prepping like 80 hours a week or something for matches, you know, because
Right.
we all had this time. So yeah, I was main commander from that time on until today, basically.
And then how many seasonals did Core win? I know
Well,
when I came in, I watched a seasonal final between DC and Core,
so
and
so ba- mm,
yeah, that was on
sorry.
Hill 400. Yeah.
So basically, the first one we played was this was against like WTH and Utah. We played really well in the beginning, got the middle point. Immediately, like without like stabilizing our line, went to fourth point, and we got fucked. We basically went from a winning position into losing 5-0 before the game time ended. Nobody saw
Damn.
that coming, not even we. Was really good play from WTH and really bad from us because we went, I think, overconfident. Um, yeah, and afterwards, like a lot of people thought we would like disband because a lot of people, like in the German community, for example, saw us as like some kind of we want to win mentality team that has no like basically real like spirit into the like we would like just play because we, you know what I mean? Like basically more like yeah, they play together because they want to win, not because they like each other.
Right.
But we stayed together, went to the next like seasonal, won against the Lion. I think that's one of the most watched seasonal games or Hell Loose games ever. Because it was so sweaty. I don't know if you watched that. on SMDM. I can watch us. It's everybody will tell you watch it. It's like
You
a really
said
good example.
Silver Lion was the team you played against?
No, in the line.
Oh,
PL.
okay.
These were the days
the
when
line.
she.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, my pronunciation is off sometimes.
Actually, I think I've seen B9 send a clip of that before,
hmm
where he was getting triple RD'd.
This was basically a game where we all lost like 10 kilos in sweating.
Yeah.
And afterwards, you said by yourself, you saw the DC core final. That was well, like one month before like we disbanded as a clan. So we
Yeah.
won a score. We won the season 2 times.
What was the competition like back in the seasonal with the line? Like, who were the teams you were playing against, and who were like the better teams of that
It's
age?
it's basically still the same names. Honestly, it's like still the biggest competition were WTH and the Lion these days. Afterwards, I would say came the Greyhounds and EastPT. EastPT was still like I think on their way to get in the like top 5 to be honest, because they still lacked some people and they still had to learn a bit how to play as a team together because they played really weird strats in these days, in my opinion. We
Right.
we scrimped them a few times, so I know. Goth was really good then with Trivex also, but that's like it's like weird, There's so many like things happening. There was Trigger, the most known Chinese team at this time was really good. There was like these French alliance from the Hive to like I forgot the other name. Like there was two like big like French like collaborations. Hive was the first one. They had a B symbol, and the second one I forgot the name because like like to tend to forget these things. But this was based on like the Reapers, which were like a really good like clan in the French community, which had not enough members to play alone, and some CFR, for example. And I forgot the other French team that was involved. Something with Arc. Arc was the name. They are all right now. Most of them are now like in Refuse, them by now.
Yeah.
And a lot of these also French guys are now in XD because I know a lot of them like Scalp, Falco, Matisse, and then he's not here now. Sorry, Navy, and Marcraft, who's like these are like also people which played there,
Yeah.
and good people. So yeah, WTH, Core, The Line, Trigger, ESPT, Greyhounds. These were the big ones, big shots then. Phoenix was still a thing, was stronger than STDB was not that bad. The 38 was quite good in one like run they did, but they lost a lot of people afterwards, so they never like came back from that, to be honest. So
Right.
you have to see that the German clan community was even bigger then. There were a lot of German clans and stuff, But a lot of them are not existing these days anymore. Like a lot of clans are gone by now, which you would know like if you have started to play earlier.
Yeah.
So it was different. The competition was different. Still some of the same people. For me, like for example, Heidi, me, Bleicher Junge, Ninja Pulver, Nero. Like these are all Zoom. These are all OGs. Like they are even more OG than me, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah. So it was different. A lot of teams still had to learn how to play. Like how Mark likes to say the meta. I have a different opinion on this, but there was still a lot of teams like learning from the better teams how to play. A lot area control was not a thing in these days, basically and stuff.
Yeah.
Tank sniping, that's also not a thing anymore. Was first no thing, then came up in the game between Greyhounds and us with tanks and stuff. Like the arty minigame was a thing still then, when you had to defend artillery and had 3 arty guys. It was just different, It's These days tanks are really important. These days it was more about area control and infantry, and tanks were more in the support role, sitting 500 meters behind the front line and sniping stuff,
Right. So do you prefer the meta back then to now, or do you like the meta now? Do you think it's better now?
I have an honest opinion on this, and that's not a secret. I liked the other one more because I think it gave teams which were not that good, like on the left, more options to like come back or defend their places because of free artillery guns, or when you knocked out the enemy artillery, you had more options, in my opinion. But a lot of people will disagree. I just liked I also liked the chaos more. These days it's more like pinpointed strategized stuff, and in this days it was more like a whole chaotic thing. You could use Artimor to suppress a point, to like defend your front line with airheads and stuff. I was just a fan more of this, like, but that was also because VS Core we could play that, like, moving forward with free tanks, support by infantry, knock down like enemy spawns with artillery and stuff. So I think it's more a nostalgic thing for me that I miss this than like it was better or worse, you know?
Right. So
Yeah.
after Core had won the seasonal on Hill 400 and it moved in the way that it disbanded, um, what made you decide to go over to DC?
Um, DC was a little bit more humble these days, like days that they it was not like that openly like active. Like they were still known, they were a smaller group, and I enjoyed sitting there a lot of times. I because of my team manager role, I had a lot of like conversations with Vadi, for example, and I enjoyed spending time with him. So I sit on DC Discord quite often and played games with them. And I always said when there will happening something to core, I think I will join you guys because I like the atmosphere, you know? It was more international. It was quite funny on a lot of occasions, and they were more chill than we. Like they played the game, they want to win, but they were not like this. Like we need to win every time, you know.
Right.
And that was like a thought more of a retirement plan than when enjoying time with like, people I like. Um, but I did fight for core a bit. I tried my best, but I was not active when the whole thing started, and I couldn't like quite like get some people to stay. How do you say it in English again?
Retention?
Yeah, like more like offering stuff to stay because
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of people like if without tanks it makes no sense to wait here and stuff, you know. So a lot of people moved on, and I always said I will not join the Greyhounds, for example. A lot of my friends went there, and there was also like little bit of a break between us because of it, I dare say. And so I decided, hey, I will stay. I will go there. I said that, and then I joined TC basically.
Right. How many players went with you from Core to DC?
There was only me and Bomber.
Oh,
Bomber
okay.
went before even squad assault because he wanted to do something new, and he always was somebody who moves around. He came from 38 to core, went from core to DC basically. Yeah, I came after him. We were the only guys who went to like DC in the beginning. Later, like Gray came, but was a month afterwards. You know. So I think in the end there were only like 4 people from core in DC, like Para, Gray, and me, and yeah, Bomber.
And
Yeah.
then I know Infamous was like a bunch of remnants of Core, wasn't it?
I said I would not join that
Right.
because I didn't like how about the whole stuff that happened. I couldn't like agree with both sides. But there was some stuff happening that I said I will not join Infamous. I even said I will not go on this Discord as long as this team is living. I only joined the Discord of Infamous, which is now Herrensauna after it dissolved. I
Right.
said I'm not getting in touch with it, to be honest.
How successful was Infamous? Did they ever become like a pretty high level team?
Well, a lot of people, even me, had expectations for them, and they did quite well. But you know, a lot of the UGs from core were burned out, so they were like recruiting new people and gave them the responsibility to prep stuff and things, and laid back, and that didn't work out for them. They will, people which were in fans will tell you the same. It didn't work out. They lost against Fog and Seasonal, and afterwards they basically also dissolved. A lot of them went to Cerberus with Zoom and others. So Infamous had options, but it didn't went like they thought it would go. So yeah, they had a lot of potential, but no, didn't like were put on it because a lot of people were burned out after core.
Right.
But that's understandable because we were like in core we were really tryharding everything.
After Infamous dissolved, did any of those players go over to DC later on, or did most of them just go to Cerberus and Greyhounds or anything like that?
Yeah, like a lot of went to like the grounds after time. Went like a few went in the beginning, then more, you know, like a steady stream. A lot went AFK, stopped playing. A lot went to Infamous. Few went like to HTD and stuff, you know. Others to their old clans. Others went AFK for a while. Others stopped to play the game, you know. There was like a lot of fluctuation, I would say, you know.
Right.
So yeah.
I traded you.
I saw. So yeah. That's basically how it happens. You're still here?
Yeah, I am. Sorry, I was in a gunfight and some dude flanked me and I had to shoot him real quick.
Yeah, it's weird they are coming from the front line right now.
It's kind of like why I like doing it like
again.
this is it kind of makes it a bit more interesting because like I'm trying to talk and then also do this.
Yeah, me too. I'm not sure if this map will ever be a comp map, to be honest. It's so weird.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, to be honest. Someone was talking at the very top of the map. There is like a huge like drop off that the allies apparently can't even push through once they get pushed off of it. So
yeah, the map is like more like a passionately, hey, we like to make a beautiful map, than hey, we need to make a balanced map kind of thing approach.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they said they don't really care about the comp scene in the game, so you know.
Oh my god, I got kicked.
You got kicked?
Yeah, by the bot. And I got TK'd. I think I went a little bit too far.
You TK'd?
It's just they have a bot for like.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I'll back out here after I burn this OP.
Alright, it's fine, I'm still here. It's just seeding time, so you know they don't want to go over the point, over the next line.
Oh, never mind, you're good. You're okay, I see.
Yeah, I just got killed.
Oh, punish.
I know
Alright,
these
gotcha.
people. Yeah, I punished basically. I know these people, it's fine.
Oh, okay. I thought you got like kicked.
I was like, they was saying, they phrased it when it was reading like you get kicked because of blah blah blah.
Oh,
got only
okay.
punished.
Alright, let me see.
Points.
I'm trying to remember where we were. So we just got done talking about
Infamous and the breakup of Toro.
Yeah. So, you were an admin in DC, right?
That's something most people don't understand. DC, in DC, everybody was an admin.
Right. Actually, I think I've heard that before.
Yeah, in DC, everybody had the same rights. So there were for some people like more preparing stuff and planning strategies, others not. I was involved in some strategies, but like yeah, I was more like a normal player too. Just sometimes the voice of reason if necessary.
Right. So I had talked to you a little bit, like, probably like, what was it? It was like 2 or 3 months ago. And you said for yourself, you don't really do too much prep these days.
No, not really anymore.
So are you still like the in-game shot caller when you're commanding, or is there like another in-game leader that you guys have in XD or in DC?
It really depends. We don't have a shot caller, I would say, these days. I'm still like doing stuff, calling things out like I used before, but it's not the same in Core. In Core, I was more vocal about stuff and more people. But in DXD, it's more like a lot of veterans, and the squad leads know what they have to do. So it's more like I make some calls if needed. These days I'm more like holding the garrisons, doing some spotting for myself so I can use my abilities right, getting involved in the right pushes and stuff, building red zone garrisons, supporting here and there. It's different than in Core. In Core was more like an active shot caller, and these days I'm more like a little bit passive. But that's because I have people like Nero and stuff, they also know. So like, but I'm still like reading the strats, giving my input if necessary. But these people know what they are doing. These are one of like a lot of the like most experienced Hell Loose veterans, you know.
Right.
So yeah, and I don't have this time anymore like I used to. I've almost finished my university. I'm building my own company right now. There's a lot of stuff going on for me, so I wouldn't even want to like be involved like I used to be, you know. I'm more here because of the community aspect and the people I like than of a game, to be honest.
That's understandable.
Yeah. I basically won what is to be won here, you know. I did what is to be done. So this is all like repeating like game for me right now.
So would you say like this time for HL is probably your, I don't know, I wouldn't say low point because obviously you know XD is a very successful team and already on track to take another seasonal win. Um, but out of all the times that you've had in Hell Loose, would this be your least favorite time, or like what would be your favorite even?
My favorite time was the core, and that's not a secret because it was like we built it from the ground. I also like we built XD from the ground, but it was like a lot of people like made their experience when we had like people which just started and stuff. You know what I mean? It was different. I like the still like, but the most like time was with core because it was so sweaty. You know, it was like different. It was a little bit different.
Right.
It's nostalgic, you know. I don't know why we are losing this point so hard.
They're all over here to the west. It looks like, kind of pushing down the hill.
Hmm. But I think that's OP trying to try it. Yeah, it's just like, you know, both makes fun. All's like, just like the same gamble again.
Oh, guy on a P.
I am building a new one.
So whenever, let's see, that was last seasonal. So last seasonal, DC disbanded. Was that just from like you know kind of mass burnout and people kind of wanting to get away from the game, or what kind of transpired that?
Not want to talk too much about off the box because I'm not sure if Java would like me. There was some like issues where we want to go, and there was like some how do you want to proceed with stuff, and a lot of people were burnt out and not doing the stuff that was necessary anymore. And we also had like this like thing that people thought we were really toxic, and that made it harder to like to get new people. And yeah, it was just a mix of a lot of things, and so yeah, and I was like, hey, before we all split apart now through the community, I would like to get like core back together because I was nostalgic. I want to have the boys together, but I didn't know some people wouldn't come, so I was like, hey, who of the C wants to come like with me if I do something new? And basically almost everybody was like, yeah, sure, I'm in. And then I like contacted some of the old core guys from Cerberus, and we got together, did something new.
Rad. So now you got like the best of both worlds going on, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Who are some of the core members that are in there right now? Because I think I was told there's like probably like 20 or 25 like core members in there at the moment.
If you pick AT, you can destroy the garrison, but I don't sure if you can walk over the line here. Uh, I can't really say how many it's right now. I think it's 30 or something. So there's a lot of old core guard, like tankers, infantry. Like, it's a mix of both. I think it's almost half-half right now, to be honest.
Right.
Scheiße.
Actually, it'd be kind of cool to compare the teams. So between DC and core, we'll say like at the era of that Hill 400 game, what do you think set the two teams apart?
From which, like, now core and DC?
Yeah.
DC had, overall, I think, better shooters. But core has had much more discipline and strategically, like, knowledge overall in the whole team. Everybody was, like, ready to do what has to be done and did it and did know his, like purpose. And you see a lot of people were good shooters, but like didn't really play on area control and stuff. They just pushed or tried to flank. So DC was more chaotic, but still a really strong team because they had a lot of the best shooters still, and like overall like knowledge about maps. But on the other hand, they lacked a little bit of the discipline and also the strategy, like about like holding angles and stuff. You know,
Right.
they were more pushing, and Pro was more like we take this part of the map and then we march on to the next part of the map. So yeah, they were both like different, but they are both really strong like teams.
Do you think that XD is kind of like a perfect balance between the two, or
Like it got the mix of both, and also now about like a lot of TL because of the TL guys which joined. So it's I think it has the sins of all of them together, but also the strangeness of all these like different groups and their experience in about how to lose. So
right?
it's a really good team. Yeah, just
Have
utilizing everything.
right? Yeah, I mean the structure and the cohesion is very impressive through the matches. I've seen like a lot of the matches. I know y'all played WTH on SMDM, and I think WTH won the mid cap. And watching the retake was really, it was like very textbook. You know what I mean? Well
There's the
executed.
famous like we in core we had this like wording channel where we like put down like stuff people said overall, like sentences. And there's a sentence a lot of people disliked. I also found funny. I always said, "I like a recap more than a first cap," and that's what I like about XD is that we are such capable of like recapping, on most of the occasions. So yeah, that's something I really like about this team. It's capable of retaking most of every against any team by right now, in my opinion. There's
Yeah,
no one we can't retake if we want to.
I'd probably I'd probably tend to agree to that. I'd love to see ESPT take a point and kind of try it, because so far like we just haven't won an opener. I don't think there's the openers. I'll say from being on the other side, the openers are fucking insane. Even that the last seasonal playing against DC, I noticed that the openers were always like really crazy. Like that Utah Beach game. I don't know if you remember that, but
I remember.
yeah, that Utah Beach game was like I loaded in and I did not. I expected obviously like good shooters and whatnot because I know DC has really good shooters and good tanks and stuff. But like the splashes with the tanks and like where the tanks were positioned on Chapel and stuff was just fucking insane.
Well, yeah.
So I always thought that was really impressive, and and there is a tendency with a lot of the bigger teams where 3-2s are like it'll just whoever caps first wins like a lot of the time, but
Mhm.
you guys have definitely kind of went against that, I guess you'd say. Um,
I don't
I'll have
like
to
this
agree.
whole like I don't like this whole like yeah we have to hold 3-2 yeah blah blah blah. I hate it. I want to go out. I want to like move on because I think attack is the best defense. It's good like in core I tried to introduce building like bunkers and stuff over for almost 3 years and nobody listened. And here right
Mm,
now we even have a pointing system for how much somebody built in the match in XD. So Ninja introduced this fortification ratings. And I just like to see because I think you can make so much out of it. So I like rather like building in my third point and pushing, getting area control, and marching on because I think that's still the better defense than like just sitting around waiting for the others to build on.
yeah.
Because red will always find a hole, you know what I mean, or a mouse. So I would rather give them not a hole because they have to defend.
Yeah, in that SME scrim, the building in that was actually really insane too. Y'all built all the way across the road, and I was like just shocked that y'all were even able to do that. So I mean, like the matches like that I've played against you guys has always been like a lot of fun. I do enjoy them, even though we, lose every time. But
Mm. Sorry. Servers are getting a little bit unbalanced.
what does
Nah,
everyone join
but
the other team?
yes. Nah, but I know, like, I like this like whole attitude right now of the team. And a lot of like, thanks to Nero, for example, a lot of some others which are prepping the stuff, for Bloody Nine, and a lot of the others, can't name them all right now, which are prepping, trying out stuff. Serpol, for example, is a big also plus point for us. Oh, I fucking allowed somebody random to join. Ah, no. So yeah, it's funny. It's a good. I think it's a good like chemistry right now.
Right. So through through your time, like with Core and then DC and then XD, who has been like your rival teams for each team? I guess starting from chronological order, so from Core till like now.
Greyhounds and WTH was always Greyhounds and WTH. Always. It will always be. I think with it, XD shifted a little bit towards ESPT, but I don't want to go far into it right now because you know most of the points, I think.
Wait, what was that last bit? I didn't catch that.
Right now it's I think a lot of with ESPT too, but that's like because of some stuff that happened, and I don't want to to go too far into it, you know?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I always like hearing from the other side though, you know. So, because I mean, years later, I know I'll be looking back on things like this, and I know everything's really just about perspective. So I like hearing the other side, you know. So.
It's totally fine. That's how it should be.
And then who were like outside of your team? Who are your favorite teams to like play against, and the people that you know that are I don't know.
I like
People you get along
competition. I like every sweaty match. I like competition, like long matches with back and forth. So it always was like Greyhounds, WTH, ESPT, TL in the old days. Grinding back. I just like matches which take long and which are sweaty. I don't like matches which go fast.
with. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that as well.
Mm.
Which sucks. Like the comp scene right now is, I don't. It may have always been like this, but right now it's like 3 or 4 teams that give you, you know, like really good 90-minute games at the top level, and then the rest of them, like anything below that, is like seems like it's getting 5-0'd, you know.
It's different to say for me because I came from a team that always win like biggest win percentage that ever like existed, I think. So for me, games tend to be fast most of the time, or like more things. So I don't know, but I think it's quite balanced these days, to be honest, compared to the old ones.
Right.
There's only a few teams which are like really in the top, but with the lower brackets, I think it's really like balanced these days for the other guys.
Yeah. It's just I think there's like such a large gap. I feel like between like the top 4 and 5 teams to everybody else, you know.
Yeah, but that was never different.
That
That was
was
never different.
oh, okay. So that was always pretty much the same then.
It was a little bit. It felt a little bit different because there were more teams, like in the lower bracket still. So they had more like teams they could play against each other, but it was never different. There was always a high like difference between the top 5 and the rest. Always. But I can tell you.
Right. So I guess going more towards like a personal resume, what tournaments have you won since you've been playing HLL?
I think the easiest thing for me to say that is to look into the Steam profile of a friend of mine. Or let me go to the core Discord and I can start from there. If I'm right, like, uh, it's hard to think about all of this sometimes, you know. Let me look into Medini's Steam profile. I think he has written it down there. Well, we won his core, then I can add from that point on.
Okay, I gotcha.
Fall season 2022, spring season 2022, German Cup CLG winner 2022, HLL Premier League winner 21-22, fall season finals 21, Community League German First Division winner 21, Summer Cup 21, seasonal I think spring 23 with Disney summer season 23 with DC. Yeah, some kind of that. Like I won the season 3 times. I won the German Community League 2 times. I were participating the win of the co-op for Summer Cup, ECL, APL, And if we wouldn't have dissolved, I think Core would have even won the first HCA and VECL at that time too, because we had the most points before we disbanded.
Right.
And there was this like offensive tournament where we became second position, even if we forewarned DC and I think DC in this, but like the tournament guys were like, yeah, you would have to 5-0 them to win it. So yeah. So yeah, a lot of things.
So often I hear people say that you're probably the best commander in Hell Let Loose, and at least from a statistic standpoint, I would tend to agree with that, just from tournament wins and whatnot. But who are some of the other commanders in the Hell Let Loose community that you would say are near your level or on your level?
Leicher Junge is really well per, but that's where people I played with. Enemy wise, who commanded enemies' teams? That's the thing I can't tell you much about because I don't really look into who's commanding normally other teams.
Right.
I know Incheon is playing him out, but I honestly don't think Incheon is a good commander. But that's my own opinion, and that's not even about like the stuff that happened before. It's just my opinion.
Right.
Kyle was quite good when he did used to do it, but he's not doing it these days anymore. Fitoni was really good when he used to do it, but nowadays he's playing tank. Who else? Like, it's a good question. Like, who do I against who do I play? Like, I think I played against Mack a few times as a commander. And Sid is not bad as the Sid from Refuse. Yeah, I'm bad with names sometimes. Let me think. Like, name me teams. Name team names.
Like WTH.
Coltrane. Coltrane is really good, or used to be really good. I'm not sure if he even plays Commander these days.
Right.
But I played my most like sweating game against him in the season final. So yeah, Coltrane is also really well. Really, really good.
What about Greyhounds?
Yeah, Fitoni.
Oh, okay, that's Fitoni. Okay.
Yeah.
What did Greyhounds come from, by the way? Because I don't know much about them. What was the team?
They were one of the old, like they were even before, like they was a thing when even we Core was not a thing. 116. Panzerdivision, Grauhunde. They were a German clan. They are one of the older clans in the German community still, and they went through a lot, and they're still here, and they became better and better. So they have a really good history, in my opinion. They never disbanded, never had much issues. Always working towards their goal to becoming season winner and stuff. So they are grinding it.
Right. Actually, I know from the outside, there's a lot of, I guess, dislike for Greyhounds from the EU community. Would you be okay with speaking on some of that as to why that is a thing, or no?
What do you mean exactly?
I know that they get, I guess, memed on a lot. And I've also heard like people call them something which I'm not gonna say on YouTube.
I'm not the best to talk about because I can be biased somehow about a few things because of all like core Greyhound history. So I
Right.
think it's just like the same with us. If you're like OSPT, if you're like a top dog, you get a lot of shit on, a lot of
Yeah.
weird stuff. But then every time, like everywhere, like this, every sport and every like part of life. Like if you're good in something or you make waves, people will have something to disagree on,
Yeah.
Yes. But the EU drama is different than an A drama, so that's what I can tell you.
Yeah. I see. Coming in so late, I get to just kind of, I guess, pick up on random things or try to figure out why people dislike this team or not. Because it is interesting to see why a team doesn't like this team but likes this team. I always thought that it's like a little bit of lore, I guess you'd say, within the community.
The thing is, I can give I would possibly give you a lot of lore, but that would not make things easier for like relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
Other hands around too, so not the right person to like give you this kind of intel, to be honest.
Who is a person that you think would be
I
that would
don't
be
think nobody who's like was part or is part of these things will tell you stuff about it.
right?
Where it started or stuff, because it's just like uh, it doesn't bring anything good to anyone of us. It's just a lot of rivalry stuff happening, meme wars. As you say, you're not that long in the community, so you haven't seen the great meme wars of the old age, basically. So
Yeah, I mean, I get to see the memes that are being produced now about.
that's
Uh,
not the same, bro. That's not the
yeah,
same.
I know it's not. I've seen some pretty. Like sometimes I'll have to send people like gifs or memes or something like that and ask them like where it came from. I actually recently had to do that with a gif.
You want a quick like history without like having all the background, read the whole core Discord meme channel, and you will have quite a lot of new information.
Is Discord actually around still?
Yes, no, sure it is. Why should we have deleted it?
Oh, okay. Could you actually send me an invite to that after this?
Can do that, yeah, sure.
Awesome. All right, and then I guess moving on to a more positive or kind of positive thing. What is your favorite thing about Hell Let Loose in general, just the game?
The community,
What keeps you engaged in the community?
the fun, the games, and the drama.
The drama keeps you in. I actually like I like the drama too. I like the
Yeah.
tea.
We all like, and whoever says he doesn't like it is still here is a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's also a lot of community, and I like to make those jokes like I want my season back. So
Right.
I always said I would quit if I would quit with a win and not without. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm stuck here. So it's just I'm coming back to grab it. If I can't, I don't know, but I will try my best.
Do you
Or
th- do you,
rather, if other people say, because a lot of people used to say I'm getting carried, I let other people grab it for me.
right. Um, if you win this seasonal, do you think you'll continue to play the game, or if you lose, do you think you'll continue? Either way.
There's a lot of change in my life right now. There's a lot of work coming up for me next year and in the end of this year. So I'm not sure if I will even have time to play video games in the future at all. So we will see. It's kind of open.
Right. All right. Well, I guess to close it out, do you have anything that you'd want to say to the HL community in general, or anybody in the community, shout outs or anything like that?
Basically, get your asses off. Be more active. Recruit more people. We need new younglings in the Hell Let Loose comp scene. Because, guys, it's looking a little bit dark these days. So get your asses off and start prepping more, recruiting. Or the future can look a little bit dim, my guys. That's my point of view on this right now. People tend to say, yeah, you grabbed all the good players and poached everybody. No, I just got people back on track. And a few people decided to join XD, but there's still a lot of people out there, and the competition is not dead, and everybody who says the game is dead still playing comp is a fucking lunatic anyways. Or hypocrite. So I'm just
Right.
saying, grind the shit out of it before we just do the next update, because I don't think it will become better.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I guess I started doing these too, because like I said earlier, I like having the history and the lore kind of recorded and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, especially from bigger figures in the comp scene. Because obviously, there's going to be people that I could interview, like streamers and whatnot, that do bring in a lot of like viewership and are very well known in the community, but they don't really have like the
A
enrichment of the
tea.
constant. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if you want like information and some tea, you should speak with Altberg. Aldeberg
Aldberg,
with Max.
is that who you'd recommend I do next, or who are some names actually that you'd recommend I interview? Because right now I'm thinking like Heidi and Coletto is one of them, Jim, and then
Zoom,
and
for
John.
example, knows a lot of stuff. Altberg is a good kind of person for information. Ninja Pulper would be if you want a lot of like tea from old Exodus, WTH times. If you want a really unhinged thing where you basically have to cut half of a video, you ask Vakander.
Yeah, people were recommending him. Who's also genetic? I know that he's probably a well-known person,
It's a
but
meme. It's a meme.
Oh, okay, good. But
Because genetic almost speak only like can only speak like 3 sentences of English without having a issue. So talking with genetic in interview would be like talking with a tree because you wouldn't get much answers. I love him. He's a nice guy, but his English is terrible.
all right, so that one was a meme then.
Nero was more trolling you than you can even ask Nero to talk with you, but I'm not sure if he's up for it. On the other hand, he can be quite really openly wording his opinion. So yeah, you can try to get him. I'm not sure if he will even answer you.
Right. What about Chokarion? Would he be worth doing?
Honestly, yeah, if he wants to, he can give you a lot of like opinions and intel, and he can be really like straightforward. So if you get him to do it, it can be really good. If he isn't the idea to troll, it can be really like
Yeah, something I
interesting.
wouldn't be able to upload.
But if you ask him really honest about his opinion, I think you will get a straight like good interview.
Yeah, so like the rules behind these are pretty much as long as I can upload it to YouTube, then like that's really all there is to it. So, you know, I'm not going to police what people would say about other communities because I do like having the like the straightforward opinion. So,
I know what you mean.
yeah.
I just don't like to be like the next guy who picks the next drama, so that's why I'm a little bit like,
Oh yeah,
okay,
no, I totally
diplomatic.
understand. You don't have to do any part of that or whatsoever. You know, you have the freedom of whatever you want to say, and um, yeah. All right.
I just wish some people wouldn't take everything so seriously these days. It's a little bit worse than it was before.
Yeah. I'll, you know, it's just people, I guess. But I've kind of become a bit more, I guess, open. I was a bit reclusive there for most of my time in Spree, but then I was like, you know what? There's like a lot of really cool people in the community, so I kind of started branching out a little bit and.
The community overall is cool. Like there's a lot of like drama between the teams, but there are a lot of like really nice people in this community overall on every team.
Yeah.
So it almost makes sense to reach out. I used to reach out a lot to other clans, but I'm not doing this in this kind like energy I did before. But it was nice to meet all these other people. I like to used to chill with Muck, for example, a lot of times in the past.
Right. Yeah. Most of my, I guess, reaching out was in like the lower levels of the community because of running the Senate, you know, for the time I did, and being a part of the 75th, and then coming over to Spree. I never really reached out to like high level comp teams and started talking to them. And the one time I did, I actually came in, and you might have been the one that removed me from the DC Discord, I think. I can't remember. But I came in and was trolling after DC had decided they were disbanding. And it was because Chokarion was in a VC, and I had never even met him before, so I immediately started talking shit, but I've kind of like strayed away from that and haven't been doing that. And then Press F came into the ESPT Discord, helped seed, and was really civil. I was like, you know what, I should honestly return the favor. And
That's
you
one
know,
of the biggest trolls I know.
yeah, I mean, he was still like really respectfully came in, was apologizing about things that other members had done.
He has a mix of both words.
Right, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should like return the favor and kind of reach out and
That's
talk to people.
something I told people before. Those like people always like, yeah, these kinds are asshole, or they are racist, or even core these are assholes. And I always like was telling people, well, did you ever talk with these people? Did you ever reach out? Nah, I just saw what they wrote. I heard about them. I was like, yeah, bro, why do you even think you are allowed to have an opinion if you never talk with these people? You would be surprised. So that's what I think a lot of people in the community. If you start talking with them, you will be quite surprised.
Yeah,
A lot of
I'd
nice
agree with
people
that.
here. Yeah.
But all right, do you have anything closing wise you'd like to say, or you think you got it all out, or any points that I might have missed?
I think I got a lot of them. You have asked good questions. I hope people will understand my yapping.
I think it
So
was
no,
fine.
not much to put in here.
Alrighty, well, thank you for coming on, dude. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Always.